Can you guys hear me? Just give
Yep.
me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you for having me on the call, guys. I'm excited to be talking to you guys. I hear that you got about 10 people going for a gold and a couple of people going for platinum. So that's amazing. And Chris Bentley asked me to talk to you guys about how I did the gold in 10 days a couple of years ago, and then the platinum. So if you guys don't mind, I'm only going to concentrate on if you guys don't mind, I'm only going to basically concentrate on people who want to go on gold and hit gold and platinum. So the way I did it is, wow. Okay, so so hopefully you guys have a lot of pen and paper because I'm going to just basically spit out all the information that's in my head. Number one most important thing that you guys need to do is whoever is going for gold or platinum, make sure you have one or two trainees with you guys. Okay, that's super important. You don't want to do this by yourself. You want it with somebody else, and that's two reasons behind that. Number one is you're going to perform better if you're with someone else. If you have an audience, you're going to perform better. Number two is you don't want to hit a big target. You don't want to hit a big target with just all by yourself, and you don't have any witnesses. You have nobody to basically get motivated from it. So, and it's also really easier to have somebody, a trainee with you, to do all the mapping, all the driving around, or maybe being on your phone, making phone calls, making appointments in between appointments along the way. And if you have two people with you, take one person in the house and then leave the other person in the car, so that they can actually have more get more appointments as the day goes along, right? So you can get a lot more accomplished if you have one or two people with you the whole time, and you can just basically alternate it. You can have one agent with you for the first week, send them back, and then pull in another person another week or another 10 days, so you can alternate and basically pass the torch on. That's really important to do. um, the other thing is, I know we've been talking about 12 to 9 and then 9 to 6, but if anybody's going for gold, um, maybe the company doesn't want me to talk about it, but you need to do a lot more than that, right? So when I did my 10 to 50K in 10 days, my hours, I can even give Chris my schedule, and Mark, probably you have it actually. I always start at 7 a.m., get my breakfast, hit the gym, you do whatever you need to do. But 8 o'clock, when 8 o'clock hits, from 8 to 8:30, I always do my mods, always, daily, half an hour. Get the mods out of the way, send your emails, and then at 8:30 to 9, I always confirm my appointments for the day. And with the way you confirm an appointment is you don't call and say, hey, we have an appointment. I just want to make sure you're there. This way, it's kind of open-ended. You're giving them a way out. So the way the confirmation phone call goes, it goes like this. Hi, John. How you doing? It's me, Alan. I have an appointment with you today between 5 and 6. Hey, I just wanted to give you a quick call and remind you of that. Just a reminder call. I'll be there on time between 5 and 6. And if they don't answer the phone, let's say it goes to the voicemail, same thing, quick voicemail. Hey, John, this is Alan from AIL. We have an appointment today this afternoon regarding your benefits through your mom's union. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'll be there on time, on schedule between 5 and 6. Have a good day. I'll see you again between 5 and 6. Make sure Mary's there. Done. It takes about maybe 15 minutes to make 6 or 7 calls. But if you got to make it a daily routine. You can't do it one day, not the other day. Every single day. So if you have a yellow schedule like this, at the very, very top, 8 o'clock, it has to say mods to 8:30, and then 8:30 to 9, it has to say confirmation. You confirm all your appointments for the day, and then you get into the field. And the third thing that you guys, big tip, really huge tip, is if you have a full day, make sure you slow down in the home. So write this down, slow down in the home. When you're in someone's home, you should not ever think about the next house. You should block out everything, forget the chairman's month, forget the gold, forget everything. Everything that you're concentrating on should be concentrated and towards giving the uh, best presentation that you can give. Treat them like your family. Everybody asks me, how do you close? Well, like I said, close is a mindset. You don't. There's no one line that can the sale. It's all about the setup. It's all about you taking the time with the client. It's if you ask a question, make sure you look for an answer. Do not give the answer yourself. What else? If you're asking someone, for example, in the intro, I'll give you a couple of examples what I mean by slowing down. For example, during family information guide, and the bottom it says final arrangements. The script says, have you made any arrangements for your funeral and final expenses, right? And some people say yay, some people say no. And if they say no, ask them a follow-up question. Have you had any deaths in the family? Have you had to plan a funeral for someone else in the family? And if they say yes, don't brush it off. Be sincere. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear. Who was it? Who was it that passed? Was it your mom, your dad? Was it in town, or was it somewhere else? How much was it, if you don't mind me asking? Were you prepared as much as you like to be? All those open-ended questions. How they passed away? They might have cancer. They might have passed away from cancer. If they pass away from cancer, ask them, what kind of cancer was it? Did they go through a lot of chemo, or was it a quick thing? See, those are the questions that actually help you set up the right tone for the presentation. And all it takes is one or two light bulb moments. All you need is one or two light bulb moments. Your job is to get that light bulb moment goes off, and then that's when they sign up. So that's when you're in the home. And then I don't know how much you guys do referral collection and if you guys book it from home, but we do a lot of referral collection. But when we collect the referrals, we book them right on the spot. And then the fact that they may not have the addresses, use that to your advantage. So, John, do you have your brother's address? Most people say, no, I know how to get there. Okay, no problem. Can you give him a call and ask his address? And then use that for them to make a call. I'm all about turning bad situations, anything negative, into my advantage and flipping it around to a positive thing. So that goes for referral collection. And at the very minimum, make sure you send a text message, and then let them know, set them up. Hey, can you send a text? But your phone is going to go off. So if anybody texts back, that means they're available. So just pass me the phone. I'll explain it to them for you. So that's basically the text messages. And then as soon as you get in the car, this is something that we adopt from San Jose, is when we get into the car, we just basically call those referrals immediately, because you might have from a senior who's like in their 60s or 70s or 80s. You really don't want that person's kids to think that maybe you took advantage of seniors, took advantage of elderly, and then the anxiety level goes up. But if you bypass before they call mom and they call dad, you come in, you interject, and then you call them. Whether they talk to the mom or dad doesn't matter. They probably have received a text message. So you say, hey, John, did your dad send you a text message? He'll probably say, yeah, I got this weird text from my dad. I haven't talked to him yet. And perfect. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly why I'm calling. And then you just go from there. So booking from the car is super important if you want to go hit gold. And my schedule is basically, I usually go for like 10 days and I take a day off. If you go for a week, take a day off just to recharge your battery in the morning, from morning to afternoon, and then from afternoon 4 o'clock onwards, you just basically book and you give yourself another 4 or 5 days of solid appointments. So basically, that's how you get your activity up. And in your mindset, you really have to like talk yourself into it. You have to motivate yourself in the mornings. You gotta eat well. Don't eat fatty food. Don't go to drive-through all the time. I even, you believe it or not, I actually have a diet plan. Subway, if you're really behind, go to Subway. Eat healthy. What else? Oh yeah. In terms of you being obsessed with your goal, even I had to whenever I go for something big like that, I change my passwords. Every password that my email account, my Altig account, everything, uh, going for gold, or I am the greatest. I will break the record! Exclamation point. These are my passwords. I use them every day. I have basically the year that I broke the record in 2012 looked like yesterday. I had a magazine, a Spotlight magazine. I had all the top 10 or whoever, all my people that I wanted to actually beat. I had them basically attached to my wall in front of me, and I had like a red cross with a magic marker, red cross on their faces, like a target. I'll take you out. You have to be obsessed. The word is obsession. You got to be obsessed. If you want to go for gold, you have to be obsessed. You have to have a plan. You have to even have like nothing can be left unplanned. Every single thing, every single call, POS preparation, uh, POS preparation, do it the night before. Any appointments you have, whether it's a will kit, a McGruff, referral, art card, no cost, final expense lead, all of them. Make sure you do a policy search. Make sure there's no surprise POSs ever. And if you do that for the first 10 days, and if you just basically concentrate on collecting referrals and not worrying about the contest, that's how you're gonna have. The hardest thing the hardest point to get is the first 25,000. Once you hit to 25, some magic brain, because you've made money and you're not thinking about the sale anymore. You have the mojo and you don't really care. And then the next five, or you're gonna hit like 5K, 5K, 5K days. So the first 25 is the hardest. Once you get to the 25, it's basically coasting time. It's go, baby. That's all I have for you guys, unless you guys want me to talk about anything specific and more.
Does anybody have any questions? Hey, Alan. In every big month, especially when all that pressure is on, you're definitely going to hit walls throughout the month. How do you sort of mentally get around those walls and just keep sort of pushing through?
Guys, this is like an adventure month, right? You have to set up your mind. Be prepared to deal with unexpected. Unexpected things happen. And the way you prep yourself is that when unexpected things happen, you might actually have a car problem. Your car might get broken down. Your laptop might break. You might get a phone call from home that you need to like bounce. You need to leave the road trip. When those things happen, and believe me, it will happen, welcome it, right? When it happens, you tell yourself, oh, you know what? I'm glad it happened. The bad thing happened. I was expecting you. So you get up and then just basically dust off and shake off yourself and move on. Go to the next day. You also have to communicate with your loved ones, with your significant other, with your family at home. Don't go on a road trip for a few days without explaining it to your family members going after. I always, when it comes to big push months, me and my wife, we actually sit down. Basically, we do up our calendar for the month. I make sure that everything is taken care of. And I also basically motivate them to that, hey, if I hit this target, we're going to go to Mexico. If we hit this target, we're going to get this. You might need a car. Your spouse might need a car. You might need like a new stroller for your kids, whatever that might be. Bring spouse and your love you on the journey. Don't have to be with you, but at least that you can communicate. And if I'll tell you one thing: if it's a plan that you and your spouse came up with, you're gonna be successful. So make sure that they feel included. They feel part of the plan, and some of the planning actually should come from them. This way, you have their full support. They run the home, and then you can actually go and be free, right? Any other questions, Chris?
Anybody else? Sounds good. I mean, we've all watched all your
All
videos.
right, guys.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, guys. Yeah, just, remember one last thing is that when you go to people's homes, again, it's really important for you to slow down and then keep your head up. Just have the mindset that you are the God. You're you're basically the prophet going to their home. You take the time out of your day. The company, the union doesn't pay for your gas. They don't pay for your time, right? You took the time to be with them. You have information that's valuable to them, and life insurance is good. Everybody needs it, right? I don't know how many of you guys listened to my speech during the conference, but I ask everybody to close their eyes, and if you close your eyes and you picture your loved one, and picture your loved one not being there for all of a sudden, and you get that phone call. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to deal with it? Are you prepared? Are you financially insured enough to keep your livelihood, to keep the family running? And if that's the case, if that's not the case, you are basically in the insurance industry. We are basically in this room, in this office. We are the ones who actually should have everything well taken care of. And if we are not prepared, can you just imagine how ill prepared the clients are, how ill prepared their families are? So you really have a lot of responsibility just to show it. Don't sell it. The plan itself is so good enough that it sells itself, guys. And the families don't know. They don't know it, but they really need it. They need it more than you need to give it to them. So go out, and if your job is not to sell them. Your job is just to show them the package and then get their opinion on this report form, and that's it. If they sign up, great, good for them. If they don't, that's all good, right? Halloween is coming up. People are going to be spending money on costumes. People are going to be spending money on fireworks, wasting money. Then after that is going to be Christmas coming up. People are spending so much money on their kids' toys and this and that. All of that goes to waste. So explain to them that, hey, you're not spending money. This is that you're setting aside. It's not going to Toys R Us. It's not going to movies. It's going to protect your family for the rest of your lives and their lives. So you need to prioritize it. And if you don't have savings, this is another package that also gives you savings as well. If you're not setting money aside, you cannot afford not to have this plan. So, and I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to push anything for you or on you. My job is just to give you the info. What you want to do with that information is your decision. Okay, I'm just the messenger here, John. I'll just show you what it is. You let me know what you want to do with it. I'm not going to push it or sell it to you. I'll just give you the info. At the end of it, I'll only ask you one time: do you like it or not? Now, in return, can you promise me that you listen to it, listen to me, and if you have any questions, you let me know. Do we have a deal? Okay. And if the guy says, no, I already made up my mind and I don't want to see it, well then, nice to meet you. I'll shake your hand and then can you fill out this report form, and I got another place to go. All right, guys. Hey, good luck, everybody. Be safe. Make sure you have your snow tires and make this your very best week.
Thanks a lot, Alan.